Hey guys, AutOdometer here, and I've been dealing with this issue of a slow raising hatch for a while now. It's been probably a little bit over a year, and every time in the winter it gets worse and worse. I could wait for warmer weather and then fix it before next winter, but I decided to tackle this project here this winter. In this cold weather, you can see it takes quite a bit of effort to be able to push this hatch all the way up. It's become especially annoying on an incline when you try to open the hatch and it barely even opens, or it opens just enough and you don't notice and then you hit your head. Completing this repair is really simple, and we're going to do it with just regular hand tools, common hand tools that you have lying around. So you have to get yourself a pair of struts and make sure they match. And we can do it with a screwdriver, a mallet, a couple clamps, and a long 2x4. Now you can either use the 2x4 by itself or use the clamps, and I'll show you a little bit later here of exactly what I'm talking about. So I'm doing this repair here on my 1999 Toyota 4Runner. It has a locking retainer here on the edge of this bolt, and it's basically, you do have to do this 4 separate times. Now if you don't have a locking retainer like this or a bolt setup like this, I want to show you a couple more examples here. One example here in my BMW and another on my Chevy Lumina. So you come back here on the trunk side of my BMW, and it's just a very simple, you take your screwdriver, you pull out this pin, and then you push the strut out of the housing. Same thing for the bottom. If we go to the front of the BMW, it's a little bit different, but again, it's a really simple design. All you have to do is take a screwdriver and put it in between this space right here and push down. Or if you're on the top of the strut, you push up. And here on my Lumina, it's very similar to the same design as on the trunk of the BMW. Now we're back here to the 1999 Toyota 4Runner. Again, we're going to use these common hand tools right here. You take the screwdriver to be able to pull the locking nut out, take the mallet to be able to knock the bolt out, and then take the clamps and the 2x4 to be able to hold up the hatch. So let's get started. Take your 2x4 and wedge it on the ground and hold your hatch up. And for some extra support, go ahead and take your your clamps here, and if you want to double it up, you can. You can double up the clamps here to be able to securely fasten so this doesn't come down on your head when you take one of the struts off. Get your flat blade screwdriver and then pull off the locking retainer. Then you want to take your screwdriver and your mallet and bang on the end of the bolt to be able to knock it out of place. Now on this style or design here on the 4Runner, there's a washer in place as well, and I'm not sure what the purpose of this washer was, because there was no washer for the upper retaining clip. So go ahead and remove this, and we want to remove the whole strut, so we're going to go to the top here, and it's the same idea. Get your flat blade screwdriver, remove the locking nut, locking retainer clip, and then since there's no pressure here on this strut, you can simply just push it out by hand. And here's a close-up of what the locking retaining clips and all of the hardware that I took off of the strut. So go ahead and get your new strut and be sure that it's the same exact length. And I got my parts from rockauto.com, and it was one of the most popular parts on there, so it matches up perfectly. You can see that it's slightly smaller, a little bit less weight, but if you look on the end here, there is two different size openings. There's a square opening and a circle opening. Now the nut here, the original nut, has a square edge to it, so it doesn't rotate as you open and close the hatch. So pretty simple design. Let's go ahead and reinstall the strut. And I put the square side of the strut on the inside just as it was when I took it off. So go ahead and put your bolt in, take your retaining clip, and then go ahead and try to push it in with your fingers. If you can't push it in with your fingers, go ahead and get your flat blade screwdriver and pop it right in. And there you go. Perfect. Looks good. Alright, let's go to the bottom here. Again, you want to make sure that the square side is on the right. You can actually rotate the strut while the top is connected if you need to line it up properly. You also might need to push on the top of the hatch to be able to push this bolt in. Once you get it in, go ahead and put the locking retaining clip in. If you can't push it in with your fingers, go ahead and use a screwdriver. And there you go. Pretty simple. Nice and easy. So let's go to the other side and do the same thing. Let's go ahead and take out the clip. Take out the bolt. Do the same thing for the top. Take out the locking retaining clip with your screwdriver, and then take out the bolt and take the strut off. Go ahead and get your new strut and make sure the square side is on the inside just to keep it uniform with your other side strut. Go ahead and put your retaining clip on and then push it in with your fingers, or if you need, push it in with a screwdriver. And there you go, we're almost done. Go ahead and do the same thing for the bottom. You have the nut with the square side on the left. You might have to push up on the hatch to be able to get it to slide in easily. Once it slides in, you should be able to take your fingers off, put in the locking retaining clip, and there you go, the job is done. You also want to test it. Go ahead and try to open it up and see how it goes. And there you go, beautiful. Now let's see what it looked like before changing out the struts. You can see we no longer are going to have to deal with this nonsense, as well as just a side view angle of what we had to struggle with before. It's a pretty simple job. You just basically locate the 4 retaining clips, remove the 4 retaining clips, no matter what style you have. If you remember what we had on my BMW or my Chevy Lumina, just simply a screwdriver, you pull off the strut and then put on the new strut. Make sure if you like that, let me know in the comments what year, make, and model of vehicle that you're going to do this repair on. Also, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and thanks for watching.